And we are back. So, picking up where we left off, you guys just made it through a terrifying tunnel run. We should definitely make that into a 5K of some kind. Chased by plague-hungry chaos followers and demons and all that good stuff. You made it out of the cesspool and the tunnel that it was encompassing. And then you stumbled into a very foreign environment, very different from what you are used to. And right before we took our break, Mr. Seamus, you stumbled upon, through some kind of almost deja vu as it was, a tree with 7 hanging corpses and an empty spot. What would you like to do?
I'm going to start walking towards this tree.
Okay. Marius, what are you doing in this moment?
This tree is kind of like away from the little staircase down to the path.
It is. It's
right?
in the opposite direction of the staircase. You can see that there's a path worn to it. You do notice, you see Seamus kind of duck around the side of the mountain, kind of following the path as you're kind of looking down ahead, possibly looking for a place where you guys might be able to camp out for the night.
Seamus, where are you going?
There's a tree over here. It's I feel like I've been here before. And I have some type of flashbacks. Want to take a look at it.
All right. I kind of follow him a little bit.
Okay.
Behind him,
So Marius is following behind. He doesn't make it to the tree yet, though. He doesn't even crest the corner. Seamus, you almost in like a daze walking towards this tree, and it's large, with the pink blossoms towards the top, kind of falling. You can also see that there is another shrine of some kind built towards the bottom of it. You see similar symbols to the one that you saw near the entrance or the exit from the tunnel that you guys took. As you get closer, go ahead and make me a perception test at -20 once more. Or I will give you this. You can either be perception or intuition. You choose.
I'll do perception.
Okay.
I rolled a 20 out of 31.
20. Okay, good. So that is a level of success even.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're approaching the tree, you start taking in that, it's obvious that there's 7 men hanging here. They don't look like they're decayed. Matter of fact, the way that they're shifting in the breeze and the kind of churned up dirt around the bottom of the tree where you're at leads you to believe that these guys were hung within the hour. You're not sure quite time of death or anything like that, but they're very fresh, in fact. You do recognize most of the garb. It is eerily similar to the men you've been seeing in your visions of what you assume might be your past. You do recognize that for a fact, though the clothing and the armor is tattered and ruined in some way. There's definitely gouges and cuts like these men have seen combat. And of course, maybe the most disturbing thing is the empty place where it looks like someone was hung and their shackles broken in some way by who knows what or who knows who. But there is an empty slot there, and it looks like there was a scuffle of some kind in the near vicinity. With your 1 degree of success, you manage to pry your eyes away from that, and you look over to your right, further around the mountain, and you see a booted foot around the bend, just sitting there, like a leg in a boot, completely motionless.
Can I tell if it's like detached or if it's like, is it like partially hidden?
It looks to be partially hidden.
All right, kind of like slowly walk over to it.
Okay, as you walk over, at this point, Marius, you crest around the corner and you see this horrifying sight of this tree with the corpses. And, of course, it's obvious that you notice the empty space. But then you see Seamus veering off, moving further around the mountain.
I would try to kind of follow him on a quick walk.
Okay. He is following close by at this point. Seamus, you make it to you make it further around the little crest, and it looks like it's just like a part of the mountain just kind of shifted out. It looks natural, nothing unnatural about it. But you do notice that this is the edge of this kind of outcropping that you guys are on. That's kind of like a cliff. Looks like it was hewn from the rock at some point, but it was definitely constructed. It's not natural in any way, but you are at the tippity top. You don't see any stairs or anything going up around here. You notice that there is a man slumped against the side of the rock here. And you look down, and from the distance, you couldn't tell, but closer up, the boot itself is not actually a boot. It is some kind of wooden shoe, like a clog. It's got a square shape on the bottom of it. There appears to be some kind of wooden, almost armor, like plate armor pieces encompassing the foot itself, and it goes up. The figure is covered in wooden armor. It looks battered. It looks like there was a struggle in place. The only armor that appears to be intact was that one foot. The rest of it appears to be smashed and cracked, almost like someone or something pummeled it into submission with their bare hands. There's blood stains across it. There's also, what you notice is that there appears to be the face mask is cracked from the top of it down to the chin, almost like if you just touched it, it would fall in two. And it is kind of only held in place by the large helmet. That it's kind of like a large, almost pointy helmet in a way. It comes to 2 points on each side. And it's just a very bizarre sight. It is this red kind of tinted armor that you have seen before. And you definitely recognize this as one of the men that you kind of stumbled across in the tunnel that you were at. And the one that Marius also kind of described to you that he retrieved the skull from.
I'm assuming, like, just by looking at it, I can tell, like, that person's probably dead.
Oh, yes, completely unmoving. But you never know.
I'm gonna pull out my dagger and take a closer look, see if he has any loot on him.
Okay, go ahead and make me another perception test at minus 20.
Oh, how's it feel, Seamus?
Oh, this is a good one. That is an 8.
Okay, an 8. So it's good.
good.
That's 2 degrees? Yeah, it's 2 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 degrees of success. You pull the dagger out, and you slowly are reaching out towards the corpse, or what you think might be a corpse. Marius, you come around the corner, and you see Seamus. You see this figure laying there. You see him reaching out for him, And before you have time to really say or do anything, Seamus, you reach out and grab for probably around the collar to kind of shift him further up. And the mask falls off. It just cracks in half, falls off into his lap as you kind of shift him up to kind of get a better angle to search him over. The eyes are rolled up towards the sky. He's obviously dead. Recently dead at that. Very recently dead, judging by the blood that is still kind of dripping out of his mouth. Slow drips. You start looking him over, and you notice that most of the armor is ruined. There is that left leg that is still intact, but the rest of it is in poor shape. Somebody or something definitely went to town on him. You, however, do not find many things on his corpse, which might be a little disturbing. You find you do find a broken latch of some kind around his back that looks like it might have held something. You're not sure what it was. Possibly from the angle and from what you know of your time spent with caravans and kind of strange people, may have been a dagger of some kind. Was secured behind him. It's no longer there. It's been ripped off. There is also a similar thing on his hip, but you, with your decent perception test, you see that off to your left, you see a sheath laying on the ground. It is, as you shift the body, you see just an empty sheath. You don't see a sword in its place, but it is a very long sheath. This definitely would have been a full-size sword, if not a two-handed sword of some kind. But the sheath appears to be cracked as well, damaged in some way, but the blade is nowhere to be found. You do also find another pouch of those strange coins that you recovered off of the previous men you found outside of the other entrance in Sealburg. There are, let's roll a d10, 7 of these strange coins in there of a different type of metal. They're not, they appear to be more of a copper and not a more lead-based as the other ones were. You also find a almost like a pouch kind of tucked into his armor. You kind of shift it out of the way around his midsection, and there are, as you open it up, there appear to be dried fish of some kind inside this pouch, and that's all you find.
I'll take the coins and the fish.
Yep, dried fish.
Marius, I got some dinner for tonight.
Oh, nice find, nice find.
I think this man I think he's been killed recently. His blood still looks fresh.
I think you're right, friend. Did you want to investigate any more, or should we head down to camp?
No, I think
you said you might remember something out here.
I'll kind of get up and start walking.
Okay.
I assume would be back down the path, and look over to Marius and say, Marius, remember when you first met me?
Oh, I did.
I had a little bit of rope around my neck.
I do.
I feel like I've been this place before. There's an empty spot on this tree here. I don't know if this feels like I've been here before.
It's unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
This might be a land of people who aren't too friendly towards towards our kind. Are the rest of the men Is the rest of the men on the tree? Are they all dressed in like kind of this wooden armor garb, or are they dressed?
No, they are dressed like men of the Empire. They were definitely. They seem similar to you. Seamus recognizes them for sure. At least the kind of the colors and the kind of insignia on their chests and whatnot. But they are definitely men of the Empire, hanging from this tree.
Okay. These are men of the Empire, Seamus. Do you recognize any of them?
I recognize these colors, these symbols, but so the bodies are still fresh.
Yes, they are still. They look fresh. They don't smell. There's no sign of decay yet. But
would my character would know any of them?
You don't recognize the faces. You know what? Actually, go ahead and roll me a. Let's make it a. No, not intelligence. Let's make it a cool test. At -20.
All right. Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah. That's another 8.
Jesus.
-20.
What? Yeah. How many success
That's
levels?
8s. 1. 8 out of 19.
Okay. Oof, man, lucky. All right. So, you, looking at the scene before you, you see, kind of in a flash, you see these men. You see them, and it's almost like you're in line with them, being marched up the steps nearby, cresting the hill, marching past that strange doorway, and then marching to this tree. The men are definitely in your company. You're shackled to them, and you're being escorted by several men in similar garb to the one that you found dead nearby. You see them begin talking to each other in some strange language, but the men around you seem frightened and terrified, but beaten and broken at the same time. You get the idea that much time has passed, and though you recognize the faces of the men, no names come to mind, but you feel like you've spent significant time with these people. But the names don't come. But the faces you do recognize, and that's kind of where the vision kind of ends, dissipates.
Kind of turn to Marius. I recognize the faces, but for some reason I can't recall any of their names. I say we get out of here. I want to kind of look at that dagger. Probably, with how intelligent my character is, assume that you might put 2 and 2 together. That dagger came from the.
You're intelligent enough. Let's what? Nah, well, I won't make you make a roll for it. You're intelligent enough to at least put that together. That you kind of get the idea, especially with the vision that you just had. That is probably where the broken weapon or the broken latch on the person's garb was.
I'm gonna try to hide that dagger on my person, so just in case we come across anybody, they won't see it.
Okay. All right. We do that. Where do you hide it?
I have a backpack, so.
Yeah. Okay. It's if you put it in your backpack, it will be harder to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, if you need to use it at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So all right, Marius. What do you say we find somewhere to camp out or something?
Sounds good, friend. Let's go.
Okay. You begin. Are you going down to the forest floor?
Yeah, I was gonna try to
Yes.
make yeah, like way down there, at least close to the forest, like the edge of the forest for like wood and stuff.
Okay. As you are moving down the forest path, Marius, your eyes are still drawn to the beach, to the ships that you see kind of. There's still one or two of them still be kind of in drift, kind of back and forth, like weren't completely pulled up onto the beach. You get more and more a sense that it wasn't by design that they ended up where they are, just from the angles and the kind of disarray that they're in, and as well as the various things scattered across the beach that as you're going down to the forest you're noticing. You do also notice, this is from your previous experience, Seamus, you're kind of just still a little bit in a daze from the events that have transpired. But Marius, you also would notice still that the smoke is still steadily billowing in the distance from what you assume might be fires of some kind. It doesn't look like a giant bonfire or anything crazy like that, but you do still notice it kind of drifting up. You guys both make it down to the forest floor. You see the bamboo trees and the other trees mixed in with them. You can start to hear the hum of wildlife, and it is, at this point, it's getting dark. It's not pitch black yet, but it is getting dark. So you make it down to the forest floor, and are you guys going to find something to take shelter under? Are you going to just make your own? How are you going to do this?
Yeah, if I can see shelter, maybe. I don't know. If not,
okay.
Maybe.
Go ahead and make me an outdoor survival check, and we'll find out what you find.
All right. That is going to be nice. 41 out of 41.
Ooh, just a success.
Yeah.
So, with just a success, you do not find natural shelter. You do find a space that kind of off the path a little bit. You know enough about being in hostile territory, especially after what you just saw up above and the experience you've just recently had, that you shouldn't camp out right on the path that you're on, especially a well-traveled path. So you veer off kind of which direction would you like to make the camp in? More towards the beach or more towards the inside of the forest?
I'd probably say inside the forest.
Okay.
I don't want to be out in the open, I guess.
All right. So you move off into the forest. It's not, well, I mean, it is thick. It's a very thick, heavily dense forest, but you find a bit of a clearing, and you think that you could probably prop up some limbs or something of that sort, and probably make a makeshift tent out of the tarp that you guys have.
Okay, I was going to say I do have that tarp.
Yeah. With the tarp, you could
Okay.
could secure something so that you guys would have some kind of shelter in place. It is starting to mist. You don't know what it's like here, if it's going to rain, if not, you're not sure. You do still have that strong smell of salt, of that sea salt smell drifting in. Everything smells fresh here. It doesn't, Sealberg is more of a mountainous, almost, swampy almost kind of scent that it has, not that real fresh, crisp smell. So it's definitely, there's different scents coming from here, even further solidifying the fact that you are not in the Empire anymore. You found a spot to make your tent, and do you want to make a fire?
I'm thinking, how cold is it right now?
Okay, so when you guys left, it was fall. That's what time. That's when you guys entered into this tunnel. It was fall. you're not sure. I mean, you're in a strange environment. It does not feel like it is fall or winter. If anything, it feels hot as hell where you're at. Seamus, you might be getting a little more uncomfortable wearing your chainmail, in fact. You get the idea that vigorous activity and lots of armor might incur penalties of some kind. That's how hot it is. It's kind of starting to steam a little bit inside the forest here. It's a little, you're getting a little bit of a low steam kind of mist gathering around the floor as the rain is pouring in. So it is warm for sure.
It is raining, though, you said?
It's misting. It's not like a steady rain.
I'm worried about those other fires, but I don't know like what the wildlife is like here. And I probably need light to see, so I'll say just kind of like a small fire. Not like a raging huge one, but
yeah. With your regular success, you managed to find enough to piece together a small fire. You're not sure how obscured it might be from outside prying eyes with your just regular success, but you managed to make a small fire nonetheless. I'm assuming you guys kind of try to settle down. What would you like to do in the meantime?
I'll take first watch. I'll probably let Seamus try to rest up first.
That's a good idea.
Are you guys going to eat, or are you going to wait till the morning?
I'll probably have my rations. I'm probably getting a little hungry. So
okay.
I'll probably crack open my rations.
All right.
Eat those.
Okay. Do you still have the candle lit on your helmet?
I do. I'll probably leave it.
Okay.
Leave it on in the night at least.
Okay. All right. We are taking watch. So Seamus, you do rest, correct? You're not gonna try to stay up or anything?
No, I'm gonna rest.
All right. We are going to play this game to see if you guys make it through the night and get a full rest. So, Marius, with the added light, make me a perception test. Straight perception test.
All right. Oh yeah, that's a 3 out of 30.
Holy shit, man. Okay, 2 levels of success. So it is a rather disquieting environment, and before we do anything else, Seamus, I need you to make me a cool test at -20.
All right. Oh boy, 74.
Do you have any fortune to re-roll it?
Sure, I'll burn it.
Yes, burn that fortune.
Oh. Ooh, that is a 6.
Okay, you bastard. That's fine. So you man, even in this foreign, strange environment, with all the disquieting things that happened, even in your fragile state of mind at the moment, you managed to actually drift asleep. Actually, it's more than just a drift. You immediately fall asleep, almost in like a just an exhausted state that you are. I'm assuming you use your nice new bedroll that you purchased from Mr. Gold.
Oh yeah,
yeah, of course, yeah. And I will say, it does not feel like Arabian silk. It is a little rough as you climb into it. Not what you were promised by any means, but it will do. It does suffice. So you quickly just go unconscious. Marius, and it's like high tension here. You're just you're in a strange place. You don't know where the hell you are. There's all kinds of weird things happening. Your friend almost died. And then there's just been odd evidence of things going on around you. So you're on high alert for this first watch. Throughout the night, and into almost the early hours of the morning, at least throughout the remainder of what you think is the night. You're not exactly sure what the day-night cycle is here. You have no idea where you're at. You're assuming you're somewhere on this planet, hopefully. But you do hear grumbling. You hear growling at certain points. And you hear growling very close by. Extremely close by. What do you do?
I'm gonna get my pick ready.
Okay.
And I can't make out anything. I don't see anything, right?
You don't see anything. The environment is too thick around you, but you do get a direction, and you kind of face off in that direction. It appears to be further into the woods, away from the path.
Okay. I'll kind of wake up Seamus. Seamus.
Kind of nudge him.
Seamus. Yeah.
Well.
Go
Marius,
ahead.
what do you want? Why are you waking me?
Some type of animal real close. Get your knife or bow ready.
An animal? What? Alright, fine. Kind of lean up.
Okay.
Use my backpack as my pillow because I don't think I have a pillow.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fiddle around in there in the dark, trying to find that dagger.
Okay. You find it eventually. A minute passes. You don't hear anything. 10 minutes pass. Nothing.
Marius, I don't hear anything.
There's something, Seamus.
Do you go back to
Wait a
sleep?
little bit longer.
Oh, okay. How much longer are you guys going to wait?
Well, I'm gonna be up until it's his shift.
Okay.
So, I'll be up.
Seamus, how much longer do you stay awake?
Probably with like adrenaline pumping, maybe like another 30 minutes before I could feel comfortable falling back asleep.
30 minutes pass with nothing.
All right. I assume I'm asleep unless my turn is up.
Okay, yep, you drift to sleep. You just kind of give Marius like a look, like, come on, man, seriously. And then go to, and then lay your head down, go to sleep. Marius, you're on edge still. You're on edge. This is a strange environment.
Yeah.
You're looking around. Another hour passes. You hear the same growl, this time closer.
Do I recognize the growl? Is it like anything I've heard in the Empire?
Make me an intelligence check. Or do you have lore Empire or lore Reichland, anything like that?
No, I don't.
Okay, yeah. So just an intelligence check.
Okay. That's gonna be 73 out of 36.
You do not recognize this sound at all.
Okay.
You can tell it sounds like an animal. At least you do recognize that. It's obvious it's some kind of animal.
Okay, so I don't know. I guess I'll kind of stoke the fire a little, make it a little brighter.
Okay. You throw on another log. Kind of just toss it on there.
Yeah.
Well, another piece of bamboo. That's mostly what you found, and it burns hot and bright for a second.
Yeah.
You kind of throw that on there, and you're looking around. Don't see anything.
I'm just kind of keeping ready in the direction I hear the growl.
Okay. You stay in this heightened state for the next hour. And then it is time for your shift to end.
All right. When Seamus gets up, Seamus, that I don't know if I'm crazy, but I kept on hearing a growl, even after you were asleep. I feel like it's getting closer. Keep your wits about you.
Don't worry. I'll protect you, Marius. I always protect you.
Oh, do you now? And I'll kind of get my bedroll out and try to get some sleep.
Okay. Seamus, you wake up. Marius kicks you again. You're kind of like pissed off, and that this conversation transpires. Because you stayed awake for so long, at Marius' behest, I need you to make me an endurance test at -30.
Oh, jeez. All right. That is a 60 out of 22 with that -30.
You do not recover your exhaustion because you did not have a full rest. You do, however, recover your toughness bonus and wounds.
Oh, okay.
But you still have 2 points of exhaustion, unfortunately.
All right. Well.
Go ahead, and if you're going to finish watch, make me a perception test, or you could just go back to sleep and get rid of this point of exhaustion.
I'll do my best to stay awake.
Ah, damn it! Come on, I'm helping you out. I'm helping you out.
Oh, this is a trap. I don't like it.
Okay, well, go ahead and
on Marius.
Go ahead and make me a perception test at -20.
The next morning, I'm just gonna yell at him, berate him. That is a 61 out of 31.
Okay, so you're doing your best to stay awake. You're not really looking. You're just kind of awake and present. You don't hear anything. You hear like probably some woodland animals of some kind out there in the distance. That's it. Nothing. You go your entire shift with nothing happening.
Sitting there, playing with my dagger.
Yep, just fiddling with your dagger, just looking around, looking at the fire, keeping it lit, and nothing transpires. It is now the morning. The sun is cresting over the far side of what you're assuming. You don't know how far inland this goes, but the direction that the forest was coming from, kind of close to where the mountain is, the large, massive mountain that encompasses a big piece of where you currently are. You feel the heat start to rise, Seamus, and you know that morning has come. Though even in this dense canopy, it's not high levels of light, but you do feel at least that it is morning time. So it's time to wake Marius up.
Give him a little kick. A little nudge. Boot. So, Marius, wake up. It's time for breakfast.
Marius, you wake up refreshed, a full night's rest. You feel great. It was very delightful. Nobody woke you up in the middle of the night. You just you kind of give a big stretch. Oh yes, it's time to start the day.
How's that today? Let's get to it. Do I notice?
Seamus looks disheveled. He looks like shit, and he's just he's giving you this glare.
Seamus, you look like shit.
Well, somebody was too chicken in the middle of the night. Kept waking me up.
Oh. Am I hungry?
Oh yeah, you guys are both hungry. You're both almost starving at this point.
We got a couple options here, Seamus. We can look for food. We can hunt for food. We can eat that dried fish. Or we can have some Bugman's ale.
As he says that, I'm pulling out that little pouch or tin of that dried fish and taking a little bite out of it.
Okay. Dried fish it is for Seamus. Well, how about you, Marius?
I don't have anything to eat, so I'm gonna look for food, like if I can see any food around.
Oh, yes. Make me an outdoor survival check.
All right. Also, question:
Yes.
Do I notice any kind of tracks from that beast I thought I heard?
Outdoor survival check, and we'll see.
That is going to be a 33 out of 41.
That is a critical
crit.
success. Yep, critical success.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you get up, you could tell Seamus is pissed off. Like, maybe I should go look for my own food. He's probably not going to share that dried fish with me.
Nope.
You begin hunting around. You're not sure what the hell you're going to find or kill with your pick, but hopefully something slow. But you're looking around, and you actually start moving in the direction of where you heard that growling the previous night. And there is paw prints. 4 paw prints. There was definitely something 15 feet from your camp, eerily close to your camp, standing there. Looks like it was standing there for quite some time. Judging by the depth of the impression of the prints. The prints are large, very large. If you had to guess, you're not an expert on animals, but if you had to guess, you'd say this creature was, I don't know, about the size of a very, very big wolf. Not necessarily like a dire wolf, but a very large wolf of some kind. Though the print looks different than that. With a critical success, you would definitely know that it looks feline of some kind. It looks almost like a cat's print, but too big to be the common cat that you know of. Yeah. You have heard stories in town by, passing merchants and things like that throughout your years of jungle cats of some kind that hunt men in their sleep. You have the strong suspicion that there was some kind of similar creature here last night. You're not exactly sure why it didn't attempt to eat you, but it was present. And it kind of stalks off in a distant direction, and the tracks disappear. As you are foraging for food, having your mind put at ease that, yes, there actually was something here. Something to rub into Seamus's face, of course. You begin looking around, and you see it looks like a rabbit of some kind. It's about 10 feet from you, hadn't noticed you. You have the opportunity, because of your critical success, to make me a melee attack with your pick. Or whatever you want to use.
I'll use my pick, I guess.
Okay. Well, it's going to be intense if you use the pick. You could try the knife if you want.
Jeez.
Well, I have a better chance of hitting with my pick, I think.
You do. So you have the opportunity to catch you a rabbit with your pick. So go ahead and make me that attack.
That's what I'm going to try.
Obliterate this rabbit.
That is a 12 out of 45.
How many levels of success is that?
3. Yeah,
Nope.
3.
Okay, let me see where a 12 hits.
you want.
Okay. So you see it and you kind of lock eyes on it. It hasn't noticed you. You unsling
like the
pick. Yep, you unsling the pick from your shoulder. Like the knight. You grasp it firmly in your hands. And you jump with the pick over your head, swinging it down, and skewer this rabbit right between its shoulder blades. It does not notice you in time to move, to get out of the way. You do see the eyes kind of shoot up at the last second, and it's just quiver go through its body before the massive head of the pick punches through its back and kills it instantly. It just goes limp. You get the idea that a lot of the meat might have been ruined, but you at least have a dead rabbit now.
Yeah.
In this moment, as soon as you skewer this animal, the pick off of the rock underneath. Very loud, reverberating noise.
Marius Wolf.
You are Marius Wolf. You're strong as hell. You kind of look around. Make me a perception check.
Oh, gee. 17 out of 30.
Okay, 17 out of 30. You look around, after the loud... I mean, it was a very loud clang of metal on stone. Very recognizable at that. You look around. Initially, you don't see anything. Look up into the trees. See some shifting. Moment passes. You don't see anything.
I just saw some shifting.
You see some shifting. Could have been the wind.
I don't have the sense of anything what it is. Like if it's animal or human or
Just saw some shifting
what?
in the trees. Not sure.
All right. Well, I'm going to try to take the rabbit off the pick.
Easy enough.
just
You pull it off.
I'm going to kind of walk back to the fire.
Okay.
Kind of keeping my eyes out on the canopy there.
Okay. Nervously looking around, darting around, looking at the canopy.
Yeah.
As soon as you turn around, no, nothing happens. You you make it back to the fire. You make it back to the fire, and you have a rabbit.
Seamus, I got a rabbit, and so you know, I saw tracks, huge tracks. There's some type of large predator that stalks these jungles. And then predator music plays.
You sure it wasn't that rabbit you got there?
I'm very
Things.
sure. I kind of point out the direction it's at. If you want to go take a look, be my guest.
What would a miner know about tracks?
Oh.
Apparently a little, my friend. I'm gonna start stripping this rabbit.
Okay.
And trying to cook it.
All right. Easy enough. No test needed. You're trained in outdoor survival, so you managed to cook up the rabbit. It's you skin it first, of course. It's actually pretty easy to skin, especially with your knife that you have.
Oh, you don't skin it Red Dead style, just rip
it off. Yeah, if that was possible. Well, I mean, you're strong enough. You probably could. We could say you could do it that way. You just grab a hold of the flesh and just rip it off. You skin the rabbit. You cook it. You have a hearty meal. Do you want to save any for later? Or are you just going to eat it all?
Yeah, I'll probably save if I'm getting full. I'm gonna save some of it for later.
do you have anything to preserve
Salt?
this meat with? Yes.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Well,
Go ahead and make me. Man, I wish I had like a luck mechanic or something. Roll me a d10. 1 through 5.
okay.
You've got salt. 6 through 10. You have nothing.
Okay. I rolled a 70 or a 7.
A 7.
So,
God
Yeah.
damn it. Okay, well, you don't have anything to preserve this rabbit with. You just
yeah.
you feel like you've cooked it. It should hold for a day or two. Surely it'll be fine. But you don't have the means to keep it long term, so you might need to eat
Longer,
it within the day or so. So you cook it, kind of blacken it, make sure it's cooked well, and then you kind of store it away in your pack. You have enough for 2 more rations out of this rabbit.
Nice.
It was a large rabbit at that, large and fat. So, and it was apparently not very bright, as it did not see you at all. So, yeah. All right. So you have that. You both eat. I'm assuming you break camp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what are you guys doing now at this point?
Do we have any like on our armor? Is any piece like recognizable if somebody was to see us? Do we have any like emblem showing?
So you guys definitely. Let's see here.
I know
Seamus.
Marius might have the Sealberg logo on his like.
Marius
jerkin.
does. Marius has the Sealberg logo stamped into the back of his leather chest piece. There is that for sure. You're wearing a mining helmet with a candle on top of it. If that's not a dead giveaway that you're probably not from around here, I don't know what is. But you are wearing the wooden pauldrons of what you think might be a man of this area. So there is that, but it looks strange with the rest of the getup. Seamus, from what you remember, from what the slight visions you've seen, these men didn't wear just typical armor in the same fashion that you are wearing. So you get the idea you would stand out no matter what. Especially with judging by the stature of most of the men that you've come across. They look to be about Marius' size or smaller. So some of them are average size, but most of them are actually a little bit shorter. Probably about 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", even. But so you get the idea. You might stand out no matter what. I will ask you this though: where is the mask that you took off of the corpse? Do you keep it like outside of your pack? Is it in your pack?
That like the rat-faced looking.
Yes.
One? Yeah, that I keep inside my backpack.
Okay. So if it's not exposed, then there's nothing that might signify that you might have any connection with this land.
I am going to pull out my cloak.
Okay.
And I kind of looked at Marius and say, Marius, I suggest you wear this unless you've got one of your own. These people don't look like us, so I don't want to stand out as much as possible.
Now, Marius, I do believe you have a cloak.
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah, he's got one. I mean, he can kind of you can try to cover yourself up as best as you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the cloak on just for funs.
Okay, for funsies. Yeah, we'll do. You guys both got your cloaks up. You think that you might be hidden? You know what? Let's make a roll for this.
Right.
Let me think. What would this be? Let's see here.
Either way, my roll is going to be terrible because Marius.
Okay. Since
All
you're
right,
Yeah.
so
since you're trying to blend in, I don't want to do this to you guys, but
Oh, you don't.
I don't, but we'll go ahead and make it a stealth roll.
All right.
Unless you want to argue for something else.
Ooh.
What about charm?
Hell no. If you come into contact with somebody, maybe. So here,
Okay.
let's talk options then. Stealth would be. I mean, that kind of fits for what we're talking about. Art would work. I'll give you entertain, since you're kind of putting on a show.
Okay. I'd prefer to do entertain myself.
Okay, we'll do entertain then. For you, Seamus,
right.
it's -20.
All right. There's still a chance.
Ooh, I fail. I got a
Yes.
60 out of 33.
You definitely feel like you blend in. How about you, Seamus?
So,
I failed as well. I got a 30.
You, despite your height, you also are blending in magnificently. Both of you. In fact, you kind of look each other over. You're like, oh yeah, we could definitely pass off for one of these.
got
for one
this?
of these strange men. You got this, no problem.
Marius, is this what it feels like to be a peasant?
you are a peasant, friend. And then, I'm like, but yes, it does. Then,
So, with that being said, with that exchange happening, what direction are you guys going in?
I'll kind of explain to Seamus about the ships that were
Yeah,
beached.
I would assume
scattered across.
you've kind of talked this over at breakfast a little bit. So,
Okay. Seamus, which way do you think we should go? Should we go towards the ships or go towards the smoke?
I don't know if it's ships. They might know. They should probably know where we are. Ships probably
Alright.
travelers. Maybe the merchants.
Let's hope. And they're like crashed. They're beached, right? They're beached ships.
from what you could tell, you think that they're beached somewhere. You're not sure how far away. You're not exactly the most like outdoorsy person ever, especially in this environment. But you did get the idea that they were beached.
Okay, do they look like Empire ships from what I could tell?
From where you were, you couldn't tell really what kind of ship it was. You could tell that it wasn't like a massive craft. It was a smaller vessel, but you couldn't distinctly tell like architecture. Well, you know what I mean, like make and model.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you would notice that they were black, which might strike you as a little unusual. You probably never. Well, I mean, not that you have any experience with water whatsoever, even in the Empire where you're at. But you haven't heard of too many ships that are completely black.
Mm-hmm. Jumbo Smooth has, though.
Jumbo Smooth might have.
Has concerns. Marius Wolf wouldn't, probably. He wouldn't.
No,
know.
he would not. He would have no idea.
Marius Wolf, and talk to Seamus. Like, I guess you're right, friend. Let's go towards the ships.
Okay. So you start setting off in the direction you think the ships might be. Go ahead and make me a perception test, Seamus or Marius. So which one of you are going to lead the way? Let's put it like this.
I guess I should, since Seamus is like,
Fucked up still.
Crippled.
Yeah, that's probably accurate. So yeah, go ahead and you make the perception test then, Marius.
Oh gosh! All right. Oh boy, that's gonna be a 99.
Yes.
Oh.
Critical failure. Oh, God, this is the best night ever. I
There.
love this so much. Okay, good. All right. Seamus, I'm going to give you an opportunity to make me an intuition roll at -20.
Okay. All right. God, son of a bitch. That's a 35 out of 21.
Okay, so it's a marginal failure compared to what Marius just did, but still a failure nonetheless. All right, you've done this to yourselves. So you start trudging. Marius, you definitely know where those ships are. I mean, you are like a compass honed in on this beach in this very strange place.
Yeah.
You cross the main path. You kind of it's open. It kind of shifts and turns, so you can't really see where it goes. You know it goes somewhere eventually, but you cross over from it the opposite direction of where you are towards the sound of the ocean. You're definitely going to be going towards the beach. You have to at some point at least. 3 hours time passes of you just walking through this forest. Seamus, you're still tired. You're exhausted from the events that transpired yesterday. Marius, you do recover your... how many wounds did you take? Do you remember?
I was down to 11 health. I took 9. And so
Okay.
I took 5.
So I forgot. Go ahead and make me a +20 endurance test.
Okay. That is a 15 out of, let's see here, 79.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. So how many success levels is that? 6? 6. So you get 6 plus your toughness bonus back in wounds. So you were very well rested. Obviously, basically you got full health. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're topped off, so you don't have to worry about that. You recovered from any wounds that you've taken. Regardless, So yeah, Marius definitely looks spry. Seamus, you're kind of probably a little pissed off about it, but yeah,
Must be nice.
It must be nice indeed. You you start trudging along, and Seamus, you unfortunately you're just blindly following him. It doesn't even cross your mind that he doesn't know where he's going. 3 more hours pass, so 6 hours into the woods, and you can hear the ocean. You hear it. It's nearby. It's got to be this direction. Marius, and then Seamus, you're just kind of, at this point, you're starting to you're really feeling it. You're like, what is going on? We should have been there by now. Another 3 hours pass. 9 hours in the woods.
9 hours.
9 hours in the woods walking. It is now past noon. Well past noon. You're getting into the afternoon. It's starting to mist again. At this point, Seamus, you get fed up with this bullshit. What would you like to do?
Marius, where the fuck are we going?
I don't know, friend. I thought we were going to the ocean.
What do you mean you don't know?
I thought I was going the right way, but clearly I'm not.
I've been fucking following you for hours. Now you're telling me you don't know where you're going.
Well, not anymore. I did initially, but then, time just kept on stacking up. I just kept on feeling like I was going the right way. I don't know what to do.
For sake.
I mean, if you want to try to lead, go for it. But I don't know if you do any better.
So we can hear the ocean.
At this point, yes, you can hear the ocean.
All right. Well, can I make a perception test or navigation to see which direction I feel like that noise is coming from?
Okay. At this point, because of Marius's critical fail on his perception test, and your failure as well, I'm just gonna roll. I'm rolling it.
Oh shit!
Marius,
Yeah, that's me.
you hear a noise off to your left. You said, shh, shh.
Is it the canopy?
There's a break in the canopy, and you can see the beach. You quickly rush out to it, Seamus following him close by. As soon as you break out onto the beach, three bolts come flying in your direction, Marius.
Oh, God.
Oh god!
One of them takes you in the chest. The other two fly by and thunk into the nearby tree as you crest it out onto the beach. 4. Let's roll the damage here. Let me make sure I got that right. Okay, yeah. For 11 damage.
Ugh.
Which you can subtract your armor and your toughness bonus.
Okay.
As it pierces into your right pectoral area through the nice brand new leather chest piece that you own just has a bolt driven through it.
Oh.
I need both of you to roll me initiative.
All right. Ooh. That would be an 11.
Okay, 11 for you. How about you, Seamus?
I got an 8.
Okay. All right. 8 for you. 11 for Marius. Let me make sure on these guys. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. Well. Alrighty then. Let's see here. Yep, that happened.
Oh no.
Let me move you further down the line here.
This is a terrible night.
Oh, yes. All right.
It continues to be Marius'
All right.
fault.
Marius, you just took a bolt to the chest. You stumble back just in shock. You've made it out to the beach. The scene before you is you see the waves crashing in. You can see that you can only see one figure standing. It looks like taking cover behind what you know to be a crashed ship. The ship is of decent size, not that you would know anything about ships. It doesn't look like a little tiny rowboat of any kind. Maybe a small skiff of some kind. Doesn't look like a long distance sailing vessel. but they have taken cover behind it and over some of the broken parts of what looks like the mast and some other pieces. They are at elevation. They look to be about 10 to 15 feet off of the ground, standing, kind of taking cover behind this pieces of wood on this shattered ship. That's the only figure you can see, and they are, it looks like, about 40 feet from you, but then there's an additional 10 feet up, unless you can scale it in some way. That's all you can see. Now, the around you is, you've got the woods to your back, where you know Seamus is. And then to your left, you don't see much of anything. You see just more beach. Looks like there's possibly some more debris strewn about. Looks like more wood. To the right, further past the ship that is in front of you. To the right, there's more beached ships further down. But that's all that you can see in this quick glance as you are pierced and feel the sizzling hot pain. Yeah, that's that's all you see. And I'm going to allow you to go first.
All right,
because of things that are happening in the background.
Oh gee. So I only see one person right now, right? Or one. I saw one shape.
You only see one humanoid shape. You're not sure what. It kind of blends in a little bit to the ship that it appears to be on. Okay.
And the ship that you said is 10 feet elevated?
Yes, 10 feet of elevation from where he's standing. Like he's standing on top of it as it's like broken. Okay. So he's 10 feet off the ground. You might have to clamber up the remnants of the ship to get to him.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably just book it as fast as I can.
Okay, you are running towards the ship. As you do, 2 more bolts fly in your direction as there appear to be more than one person present. Let's see. Okay. Let me see for that one. You lucky bastard. 2 of them, both bolts kind of, you feel them just barely whiz by in the direction to your left, actually, where you didn't see anything. You just feel the bolts kind of fly by. Seamus, from your vantage point, you see 2 crossbow bolts fly in Marius's direction. You look over to your left, and you see 2 figures emerge from behind a broken, like it looks like another broken piece of mast, a larger piece of like a ship's mast, as they lurch up over the side. Go ahead, Seamus. No, we'll wait till your turn. We'll wait till your turn. So the bolts fly past Marius. You still continue forward. You do feel it happen, though, so it gives you a slight pause. If anything, it makes you want to quicken your pace even more. As you're getting close to the figure that you know probably shot you in the chest, you start to make out defining characteristics. For one, the figure looks very tall. Seamus's height may be taller. They are wearing, it looks like, black armor of some kind. There is a mix of chain and leathers, but the leathers are also black. The chain it looks like steel of some kind. You're not sure. It's got a kind of a unique kind of look about it. The figure is holding a oddly shaped crossbow pointed at you. You do see at it's got a strange kind of helmet. You haven't seen one before. It's tall, and it comes to a point at the top. There's also a swirling, almost tentacle-like pattern coming above the eyes that crest down. which is also a motif kind of on the front of the armor piece as well. The armor does look very weathered and used, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It is also wearing this, and this is very obvious as you start to close distance. It has a cloak on. The head is exposed, like the head isn't covered, but about its shoulders and draping down past it is almost like a cloak, almost as long as a cape. It appears to be some kind of scales, some kind of reptilian hide, perhaps it's made out of. They are a deep, very deep greenish color. And they almost give like a metallic sheen. So you close the distance to this broken ship. If you want to reach this person, I will need you to make me an athletics check to climb up there.
All right. Here we go. Ooh. That's going to be a 22 out of 26.
Critical success?
Critical success.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, starting off strong. So because of that, the adrenaline's pumping, the heart's going, you almost effortlessly pick out spots to clamber up this ship. I mean, you're strong. You latch on with your hand across a broken piece of wood and just launch yourself up, catching the edge of the broken kind of piece of ship that he's hiding behind, and pull yourself up and over. And he looks wide-eyed, wasn't expecting you to get up here this quickly or even move in on him this fast. And he doesn't look that prepared for you. Because of your critical success, I will give you an opportunity to attack in this moment.
Oh, yeah, I'll take it. Just straight roll.
It is going to be... With your critical success, I'll give you a charge. So, plus 10.
Okay. All right. That is going to be a 6 out of 55.
6 out of 55. Okay. Let me roll for him. Let's see here. All right. He is holding his crossbow, but it doesn't matter. You see him drop the crossbow. He just drops it in an instant. Almost reacts. He's surprised by how quick you got up here, but this appears to be a seasoned warrior. Drops the crossbow and is reaching down at his hips to pull some kind of weapons that you didn't see. But it doesn't matter. You rolled what was the numbers again?
6 out of 55.
6 out of 55. So a 6, which turns that into a 60, which is a body shot. So you cleave right into his chest with the pick as you lurch over, taking him. He cries out in pain. And now that you're engaged in combat, you can tell that this figure is very, very slender in addition to being tall. But you see strange scarring and kind of odd marks about his face and his skin, though he is extremely pale. But he obviously bleeds. His blood pulses through the wound you open up in his chest through his armor. How many success levels was that?
So technically, if I use my damaging, it would be 6.
Jesus. So that's 16 damage?
Yes, that'd be 16 damage. My strength and
okay.
Pick damage.
My God. You do significant damage. It digs in deep deep into his chest. And you hear him, "Ah!" and blood kind of spurts out of his mouth as you probably pierced a lung or something internal on the inside. He does not look good at all. And you are definitely engaged. You land on your feet, just staring at him in the eye. You have a free action if you'd like to do anything.
Probably just say to him, "That wasn't very nice, my friend," and that's gonna be it.
And he responds to you in a language you don't understand. It almost sounds like singing, but a harsh kind of singing. And he just kind of and then kind of hisses at you, and then you see him as you like pull the pick out. You see him draw 2 curved swords from his belt and holds them in each hand.
Oh, good.
All right. All right. Seamus, it is now your turn. Off to your right, you see Marius. He has covered significant distance, 40 feet over to the ship, managed to crest over. You see him wound, at least drive his pick into the figure that was crouched atop. But you have noticed the 2 figures off to the left that were taking aim at him earlier. They are approximately 50 feet from you.
Okay.
You are still at the edge of the tree line. What would you like to do?
But I will take a shot at one of those crossbowmen.
Okay.
They're going to be within range.
They are within your 60-foot range. You may take a shot at -20.
All right, let's do it.
Now, I will say this. They also have partial cover because they are kind of crouched down behind the piece of wood. So you will need to make a success level of at least 1 success level to even get a hit.
If I move like to the left or to the right, will I get like a position where they're not?
The only way you might get a better angle is if you moved in their direction along the tree line. You might get a better angle, and you'd have to move your full 40 feet to even get a decent angle on the one closest to you.
Well, I'll give it a shot because it's worth it.
So are you going to you're going to move?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is important. Are you staying in the tree line or are you on the beach?
I would prefer to stay in the tree line if I can.
And take cover, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. So you move through the tree line hoping that they don't see you. They lock eyes with you immediately. They see you. Obviously.
Right.
You stay in the tree line and pull up, and you're about 15 feet from them. They're crouched down behind a ship's mast. The one closest to you, you have a excellent shot at. So go ahead and take your shot at -20. No penalties.
All right. That is going to be a 23 with a -20. That would have been 36.
Okay, so 1 level of success. That is a hit for 10 damage. 23, that hits at the 32. So, okay, so you take him in the right arm. So you let the bolt go. It hits into the right shoulder, kind of flings him back a little bit, and he kind of glance over in your direction. Let me add up the damage total. Yeah, that's +3. Okay. All right. So that's shit. How much is that? Okay, yeah. There we go. All right, so he takes a bolt to the shoulder. He looks hurt, but not too hurt, if that makes any sense. He looks up at you, and similar to Marius, he hisses his teeth at you, and slings the crossbow over his shoulder and draws two curved swords looking in your direction.
Oh, jeez.
You have your free action. You've expended your movement at this point. So would you like to do anything?
I'll use that free action to try to reload it.
Okay, go ahead and make a reload attempt. At minus 20.
Failed.
Okay, you kind of pull back on the crossbow, and you just can't get it shifted into place in your fatigue state at the moment. We'll see how this goes.
Oh, jeez.
All right, Marius.
Oh boy,
it's not your turn yet. You wish it was, though.
No,
out of the
saying, oh boy, I'm worried.
Out of the as you plunged your pick into this person, you sense movement off to your right, and you glance over your shoulder, and another figure ducks out from below the ship this time, with a similar crossbow pointed at your back. And it strikes you firmly in the back. Pierces through. Holy shit. It does a significant damage, too. Let's see here. Let's add this up. 12 points of damage. You can mitigate it with your toughness bonus and your armor.
All right.
As it pierces through your back, kind of lower, almost close to your hip, your right hip.
Okay.
And similarly, you hear more. This time, it's calling out to the one that you're fighting right now. And that is the end of its turn. So now we're at the top of the turn. Marius, it still isn't your turn. It's actually the guy you're fighting's turn. So the one you're engaged in mortal combat, after you've just ruined his chest and he's looking hurt bad, he's going to make 2 swipes at you.
Oh, good.
Go ahead and roll for defense, sir. With you've lost your momentum.
Yes. That is going to be a 30 out of 45. So like one and a half successes there.
You guys tied. So I'm going to give it to you. You tied.
Okay.
Literally, you have the same weapon skill, and you rolled the same number.
Okay.
I don't know how that's fucking possible. But,
Jeez.
well, you know what? A 30 for you is a critical, isn't it? Because you have piercing.
Oh, yeah. But I didn't think it worked on defense, I thought.
If you are defending and you get a critical success, you deal damage.
Oh, okay.
So,
right. I mean, I'll take it.
Yep, we'll take it. Go ahead and roll me a D100.
Okay. 85.
85. Gotta find my damn critical table. All right, 30. No, okay, yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, you bring the pick up as you see the first blow coming towards you. You instinctively thrust the pickup, and he leans in when he's taking the blow, and the pick drives through his jaw and up into the top of his mouth, losing numerous teeth in the process, and you see just blood just pour out of the wound, and you see him just go pale and limp in your grasp. The sword clattering at the side as he just falls limp onto you. And that is obviously the end of his turn, as he is bleeding out on your pick right now.
Is he dead or is he just bleeding out?
He's bleeding out badly. He has bleeding conditions in addition to being completely out of the fight right now.
Okay.
The next character is the person you shot, Seamus. The humanoid, which is almost a very similar garb to the one that Marius just probably murdered. However, the left hand is not gloved. It's kind of open. There's kind of an odd shaped finger. It looks like almost like a talon on the end of it, almost like it could be used for a weapon. But it's kind of a distinguishing characteristic. It has drawn its swords, it comes running towards you. You are in the tree line. You're kind of behind cover, but when someone's engaged in melee, it's not going to matter much. So they close the distance with you. And I need you to roll defense, sir, as a swipe comes in your direction.
All right. I'm guessing it's at a -20.
At -20. What are you defending with before I ask?
Do I have the chance to dodge, or do I have to defend?
You can dodge if you'd like at -20. Or if you can make a good enough case, we can roll defense with something on your person.
It would just be the crossbow.
Or, I mean, if you want to try to draw the dagger, because you did take it out.
Mm-hmm. If you will let me draw the dagger, I will try to defend with that.
This is where an interesting characteristic of your dagger comes into play that you did not know about. It is designed in such a way that it is fast to draw. It has the fast trait. You would not know this until you either saw someone do it or in a pinch experienced it yourself. So you reach down where you keep the dagger stored on your person when it's not hidden in your pack, and you grasp the hilt and easily slide it out. Now, because it has the fast trait, since you are in combat, you can actually make a strike with it before this person gets a strike onto you.
All right. I'm guessing it's all out of -20.
It's at -20, and this will count as your action for your turn if you choose to do it.
Okay, but I do have one. Because I hit a guy on my last attack.
Yes, so you're at -10 instead of -20 right now.
Okay. Cool. Ooh, this is gonna be close. Ooh, I got a 29 out of 20. Damn.
Okay. Luckily for you, he rolled shit on his defense. He wasn't expecting you to draw the dagger as he's charging in, and it's still so 29. That would be a 92. That is okay. So as you're drawing it, you slash it across his right leg, which does have some armor on it. Your dagger is +3 plus your strength bonus, so that's 6. So you do 6 damage to his right leg as he's charging in. It doesn't look significant, but it's something. Yeah, go ahead.
I wrote down on my sheet, my dagger is 5 plus my success level.
I told you wrong. It's +3 plus your strength.
Okay.
So that's so basically it's just going to be 6 for now, because you have a strength of 30, right? I'd have to check real quick. Let me check. I got it.
Yeah,
I got it. Yeah, 30. Yeah. So it'd be just a blatant 6 damage. So
okay.
you kind of fumble it because you weren't successful. But you fumble it, but at the same time, it like just happens to slide in through like a small like tear he already had in his leather armor, and it slips in, and you get a little jab in for 6 damage. Which this brings us to the first time this has ever happened. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys how we want to do this from here forward. Your damage equals to what he can withstand. Now, the rules say that you take 1 damage no matter what when someone gets a hit on you. But if you guys want to do this, we can house rule this. It'll work in your favor as well. If someone is wearing armor and the damage equals that or is lower than that, we can do you don't take any damage. It's up to you guys, though.
So it's toughness and armor or whatever.
If the area is armored, you won't take any damage. If the toughness and armor equals it, it's up to you guys, though.
I don't really care personally. I'll leave it up to Seamus.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, we can do that since it would work for us as well.
Okay. So you surprise him. The dagger swings out, and you feel connection. So you now have a second momentum. So you're dead even now. But it appears to not actually pierce any flesh. Now he will take his turn. So I'm going to need you to roll in some kind of defense as the sword comes flying in your direction.
All right. Oh boy, I rolled a 95.
Oh, how many degrees of failure is that?
Is that going to be agility based or dex based for defense?
Your defense. You can be defending with your weapon.
Yeah.
Now that it's drawn, so that's weapon skill. Plus, if you have anything in melee basic.
I do. My melee basic is a 35.
Okay, 35.
So that would be 6 levels exactly.
Six levels of failure. Okay, that's okay. Yeah. He failed as well, but not that much. This is still gonna hit you. Yeah. Let's see here. And oof, you're not gonna like this. So okay, no, actually, this is good for you. It hits you across the chest once again. Because of the failure for 7 damage.
Oh, okay.
So you have armor that takes you above 8, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Similar to how you ineffectually damaged his leg, likewise, his sword can't pierce through your armor. It kind of skids off. The angle was wrong. But he has 2 swords. So your momentum is gone. So you're at minus 20 now, and I need you to roll defense for the second sword.
Okay. Oh, jeez. See what you did, Marius? You got a kill. No. I rolled a 9. Which minus 20 would put me at 15.
Okay. And this is your dagger?
Yes.
Okay. So you bring the dagger up, and after just taking a blow across the chest, kind of rocks you back a little bit. You're still partially hidden behind the tree. And the second swipe, he comes in with a thrust, and you take the dagger and bat it aside before it pierces your chest once again. And he just snarls in your direction and is locked in mortal combat with you at this point. Now it is the humanoid that it was next to him. He or she, I should say, hops over the ship's mast. Her head is uncovered, You see long hair pulled back into like a ponytail. There are numerous rings, or not rings, ear piercings down one side of her ear. And Seamus, you notice now that the ears are long and pointed. But the woman, tall woman in this terrifying armor, has the crossbow up, tries to get a better angle on you. She dashes in the direction of where Marius would be. She moves 30 feet to get a better angle on you from where she is, and is going to attempt to skewer you with a bolt and avoid shooting her ally. And you got very lucky on that roll. It pings right next to your head. Just kloosh! The bolt smashes into the wood next to your head, and it misses. That is the end of her turn. Now it is the Marius. It is your turn.
All right. The guy who shot me in the back.
Yes, there's a man crumpled at your feet, bleeding, probably on death's door. You are elevated 10 feet. The one that shot you in the back is about 5 feet, 5 feet from you. To get that angle, it'd be about 10 feet from you, but also 10 feet below you.
Okay. So I'm just going to slump this guy off of me.
Yes.
And then turn around and locate the guy behind me.
Yeah, you kind of saw where he was when you glanced over your shoulder.
Okay.
But you definitely see him now.
Yeah. And I'm going to charge towards him.
Okay, are you jumping off of this ship?
Oh, he's off the ship.
Yeah, he's down on the beach.
Okay. Probably. I'm gonna try to jump.
Yes.
Jump attack him.
Yes.
Jump attack him.
Make me that athletics test. Let's see if luck holds your favor twice.
Okay. All right. That is going to be a 21 out of 26.
You lucky bastard. So not as impressive as your first display.
No.
But regardless, you leap over the side of the ship, plant your feet firmly, boom, into the sand, and don't miss a beat. You keep striding, and you run in the direction of the elf that Seamus has discovered, wearing the dark clothing. You charge in his direction, and his eyes go wide once again, not expecting this small, piddly ape of a man to cover ground as quickly as he does. And is caught off guard. Go ahead and make me an attack with a charge attack, plus 10.
Okay. Can I add my success for my defense from the last as well?
Did you get shot?
I got shot before I defended.
It was before? Okay.
Yeah.
Then you get
he shot
plus...
me, and then I defended.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, you have your one momentum.
Okay.
Plus the charge, so plus 20 for you right now.
20. Okay. That's gonna be a 5 out of 65.
Jesus. It hits. So I'm assuming you want to use 5 levels of success.
Yes, I would like that, please.
It would have been that anyway. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, it would have been that way.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5. That's 50. You like the body shots? I'll tell you what.
Give me the body.
Yeah. Yeah. This hurts a lot. Okay, so as you close the distance, you see the eyes go wide, and you notice that this one isn't wearing. It doesn't appear that he has a like his right leg seems to be bare from like the knee down, almost as if something ripped parts of the armor off. So you get the idea that his right leg is extremely vulnerable right now. But it doesn't matter to you. In the heat of the moment, you plunge forward, and similar to what you did to the demon earlier, you kind of lunge and careen into him, planting the pick into his chest, knocking him backwards. However, being a dexterous individual, he does manage to keep his footing, though he looks severely hurt as he knocked back from you. Still engaged in combat, slides in the sand, and you remove, and as you hold the bloodied pick, now bloodied on both sides from elven blood, dripping down into the sand, and he is locked into combat with you. Is that the end of your turn?
Free action? Well, can I take my free action to down the last potion that Sarah gave us?
Go ahead. You reach into your pack real quick and chug your last remaining potion. You get your toughness and wounds back.
All right. Thank you.
That the end of your turn?
Yeah. I'll probably look at him and be like, "That wasn't very nice either, friend."
And he actually speaks to you. This won't be very nice either. And he draws two swords, and it's his turn. I need you to roll defense, Marius.
All right. Oh, shit. I don't know if you're going to like it, bro.
What'd you get?
That's going to be... I got a 55
Oh my
out
god.
of 75.
Oh my god.
Critical success.
It can't. It
Sorry,
can't
bro.
happen. It can't happen.
It happened, bro. It's 5-5.
Okay. Well. I mean, you guys do have double the chance of getting the critical hit. So, I mean, there is that because of the weapons you guys have. But, all right. So, he as he says that, he goes to swing for your head. He's going to take your head off with this swing. You just feel the inertia behind it. You duck below the swing, and once again, drive the pick into his chest. Roll me a D100.
All right. 36.
All right, hold on 1 second. I need my critical table. I didn't expect to use it this much today. 36. Okay. All right. It's nothing. The damage is significant as it pierces through the flesh. And you just see the blood once again drains out of him. This time he drops both of his swords and just kind of slowly kind of peels himself off of your pick and looks down at his stomach and falls to his knees, clutching his gut, obviously out of the fight, but not dead yet.
Is he still conscious? Can I say something real quick to him?
He's still technically conscious right now, but he's not looking good.
All right. I kind of slowly shove him off. And just be like, kind of whisper to him, "That was nice, friend." And just kind of...
And he can't say anything back to you. He's in too much pain. Yeah. His eyes just kind of twist in anger. There's this unbridled anger against you right now, and he's not capable of doing anything.
I just crack a wide grin.
Yeah, he's rendered. He's rendered hurt and beaten, probably dying. And that is the end of his turn. So now it is your turn, Seamus. You are engaged in mortal combat with a man that you guys are just trading blows over. An elf, that is. What would you like to do?
And I have one level of success from blocking.
Yes,
correct?
And I will remind you at this point, since you've forgotten, you can spend a resolve point and get rid of one of your fatigue conditions.
Right. Yes, we will do that resolve point.
Okay, so you are only at -10 now, which now you're even.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna go for another dagger attack on the guy that I am locked in combat with.
Go ahead and make that attack.
Ooh, that is a 21 out of 35.
21 out of 35. So 1 degree of success. He fails. So he goes to parry the blow. 21, that's a 12. You actually take him in the left arm. So he goes to parry you with his right sword. And you shift and plunge the dagger into his left shoulder, dealing 7 damage, which barely damages him. But he is already wounded, so you do put a little bit of hurt on him. But he takes it in stride. It's almost as if he's used to pain. He grits it. He just kind of, and if anything, he looks a little more excited now. This has become more of a fight. Is that going to be the end of your turn?
Yeah, because I don't want to move, and then he gets an opportunity attack yet. So.
Okay. We are at the end of the round. So now, Marius. Actually, no, it's not Marius's turn.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, he is. Let's see here. Yeah, he's dead. That guy's also dead. Okay, so actually, it is the so Marius, you see to your right, and Seamus, you're kind of locked back into combat again, so you don't notice this. The elven woman, once again, hasn't lowered the crossbow. Doesn't look like she's reloading. And Marius, you see another bolt in Seamus's direction as she has corrected her aim, hopefully.
Shit. But I didn't see her reload it. It just did automatically.
She just does it again. She shoots again, doesn't reload.
Okay.
And Seamus, you, at the last second, some burst of intuition, you look over and you see the woman taking aim once again. And you just shift your body subtly out of the way. The bolt flies past you, missing you by mere inches off into the wilderness. And she kind of curses, by King, and looks over her shoulder, seeing her comrades indisposed, draws her 2 swords, and readies herself to intercept Marius Wolf. Marius, it's your turn.
Marius would like to charge towards
this woman. She's only 20 feet from you. I think it would probably be 30 feet, actually. But regardless, easily within range. You're getting a lot of charges off, I will say that.
A lot of charge.
So you're just ripping through these these individuals. You charge the woman, and she's readied herself. Go ahead and make that attack, sir.
Do I get a charge bonus as well, or just straight?
She sees you coming. You have the momentum on your side. You have the distance, so yeah, you get the charge bonus plus your momentum.
Okay, that's +5 if I'm doing my math correctly.
Yes, so. Unfortunately it is.
Okay. What do you mean, unfortunately?
You know what I mean.
Let's see here. So, oh shit. That's going to be a 6 out of 95.
Six out of 95.
That's pretty good.
Well, she is not prepared for the onslaught that is coming her way. She saw she didn't see what happened before. She didn't see the beast that Marius Wolf has become. Still bleeding, from your wounds. She doesn't take you as much of a threat. Your short, little, squat, little ape-like form, and you
I'm 5'8".
Well, to her, you're a tiny little bastard. She's
That's
much
true, I
taller
guess,
than
yeah.
you. And once again, for some reason, you drive the pick into her chest. This time in the belly region, through the armor she has. How many levels of success is that? Is that
That's
8 levels?
Yeah.
Let me do the math. My God.
Cut her in half.
She is hanging on by a thread. You plunge the pick in and pull it out, and her head's exposed. Probably would have been a better target, but you did aim for it.
Yeah.
You pull the pick out,
guess
driving
I
it
could
through the armor regardless. You pull it back out, and she's blood just seeping out of the wound, and looks in horrible pain. She can't even say anything snarky at you at this moment. Would you like to end your turn there?
Yes, I would like to end my turn there.
Okay. That is the end of Marius Wolf, the Slayer of Elves. Moving on. Seamus, it is now your turn.
All right. So there's only one person now because that was the girl she took off.
You
That's,
don't know that.
Marius.
You don't know, but you know that you're still engaged in combat with someone to the bitter end. It
All right.
appears.
Oh, Jack, slowly taking him down at a time. All right, same thing. Going for that dagger attack.
Go for it.
And let's see. Oh yes, that is a 1.
Oh.
Okay. Roll me a D100, sir. Let me roll back to my critical table.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That is a 76.
All right. 76. Concussive blow. Jesus.
If it matters, it was a 1 out of 45.
So 4. Okay, so that's 4 plus your... Okay, so, well, it's not going to matter. Yeah. So, seeing an opportunity, because critical hits bypass armor and toughness, you see just a small gap in his offense that he's been in, and strong defense. You get the idea that this is a seasoned warrior. But as luck would have it, he makes a mistake. And as he's lunging in for what probably would be the killing blow on you, you fall back and slip the dagger underneath his chin and drive it straight up into the brain. And he falls on top of you dead.
Shit.
Instantly
Yes.
dead. Just killed him, and he's
Yes.
laying on top of you right now dead.
Oh. Blood pouring out on me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's blood all over you at this point.
Congratulations on getting your hands dirty for once.
What would you What would you like to do? He's laying on top. You have a corpse on top of you at the moment.
I'd like to use my free action if I can to get out from under his body.
Yeah, it would be easy enough. You shift him. He's not heavy, which is the first thing you notice. For as tall as he is, he's very lithe. But you shift him off of you easily enough.
If I have any movement left, I'll look around to see where Marius is and
Alright.
head that direction.
All right, you see Marius. Marius is about 20 feet from you, in towards the center of the beach, not in the tree line. He is engaged, looks like almost to the death, with an elven woman of some kind. Do you want to engage, or do you want to stay out of reach?
I will engage.
Okay, so you run in and engage with her, and she almost instinctively feels your presence behind her. Is that going to be the end of your turn?
Yes. I've got the bloodlust.
It is now the elven woman's turn, the corsair's turn, as these turn out to be.
I was about to say.
This is a black art corsair. She turns and... Ooh, yes. Strikes out towards Seamus. Seamus, how much health do you have?
I have 11 currently.
One below. You bastard. But it is a critical hit.
Oh, Jesus.
Towards your face.
Oh, no.
To your face? How's it feel?
Oh, God.
Let me roll that D100. Okay. Oh, yes. So, seeing you lunge in, Seamus, she actually hits you with the pommel of the sword, and you feel your jaw break.
Oh.
You have 2 stunned conditions where you just are stunned and cannot move without making a test. You fall to your knees in front of her. And your jaw is actually broken, so we'll learn more about that soon. But needless to say, talking is going to be difficult. And she still has another attack, so she's going to attempt to kill you now.
Oh, God.
You can roll defense.
Oh, I'm going to. I've got 3 levels of success right now.
No, you don't, because you just got hit. You got no level
Oh,
of
shit, that's
success.
right. I got hit. Damn it. Ah, that's right. Are you sure I got hit?
I'm pretty sure your jaw's broken.
Ooh, arrow to 3.
Okay,
so
so you manage even...
minus...
Well, you know what? Hold on, let me see if stunned. Let me make sure. You can even defend yourself.
I've got minus 20. Jaw's broken.
You become distracted, you're confused.
Finally starting to take
Okay,
damage.
you're lucky. It says you can defend yourself. You're lucky in that. You're just kind of reeling, but you can defend yourself. Okay. All right. And she actually gets 2 advantaged against you, and it's still not enough because I rolled so shitty on the second hit. You lucky bastard. So you even in your condition, you managed to just kind of throw up the dagger and just kind of parry the block aside. It's more of a she's bleeding out as well. She's not looking good, and you managed to stave off what would have been your end. You nudge aside the sword, and then Marius, it is now your turn. And as Seamus deflects a blow, she kind of she gets this kind of fervor in her eye, and she yells out, "For Cain's glory!" and looks back at you, Marius, with her sword held high. What would you like to do?
I would like to attack her.
Go ahead and make an attack.
All right. That's gonna be a. It's gonna be a 33, bro.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Roll that
95?
D100.
Oh yeah. That's a 20. Double crit.
No, this is not double crit.
Oh, okay.
It does not double crit, you bastard. Let me see where that strikes normally.
Does she explode?
33. Roll me one more D100.
Another one? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. That is 73.
All right. All right, 70. Okay. You actually, she drives the sword forward in your direction. She kind of worked herself up into like a frenzy. And as she does, you see an opening and you raise the pick. It pierces through her elbow and comes out the top, skewering the arm. The sword falls from her grips and you just see the blood just drain out of her face. And she goes limp.
She's dead?
She's out of action. Not necessarily dead.
Are there any other people around right now? Are we out of combat?
As you glance around, you don't see anyone. And that's where we're going to end tonight's section for now. We'll find out if we're out of combat or not next session.
Oh, jeez.
I hope so. I hope we are.
I hope we are too. Seamus almost died. Got a little greedy.
Seamus dying.
Got a little greedy on that one. Probably shouldn't have rushed in and engaged. You have a broken jaw. That's going to be interesting. Yeah,
there's more problems than that now.
I can't wait to hear your. I can't wait to hear your accent.
Your muffled accent. It's going to be great. So yeah. Regardless, guys.
Marius.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you weren't so exhausted, this might have gone a different way. But
hey, it's not my fault. You rolled poorly on your endurance test.
You did. You did. So I mean, that did happen. Regardless, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. This has been an extra long session for most people. But yeah, thank you guys for playing. You've been awesome. I always have fun DMing for you guys. It's cool to hang out and play. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourself. We'll go ahead and close it out early. We'll skip most of the outro stuff just because for time's sake. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and go ahead and leave comments down in the comment section. It helps us out, and you know, it always gives us a little morale boost when we see some people actually watching. So there is that. As usual, guys, I've been Jumbo Thick. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys in our next episode. Have a good day.